Let me check my Facebook page. Make sure it's working. No, it's not updating the title on the Facebook page. Fuck it. Oh well. Okay. Do you want to start?
Are we live?
Yeah, we're live.
What? Don't put cell phones near your recording devices. All right.
Very nice.
Well,
Very nice.
welcome to Blue and Gray, live and in face. Not in person, but like you can see our faces.
Yeah.
So it's been a while. There's a lot of stuff happening. This episode is brought to you by Unfortunate Circumstance.
Yeah.
uh, That's our sponsor, by the way. Not that it is an unfortunate. This is what this we don't rehearse.
No, this is kind of an experiment, I guess. Um, Trying to just stream it and see where it goes. See what happens. So, um, I guess shameful plugs first, right? Um,
Shameful plugs. Yeah, I will. I will start. Of course, there's no not well. There's nothing happening anywhere as far as live music goes, really. But I did start a new project, kind of under the moniker Seethan Gray. Um, Seethan is another spelling of Sean, but I like to pronounce it phonetically instead of the Gaelic way, because like in Gaelic, the Seathan is actually pronounced Sean, because th is pronounced like a h, so it's like Shahan.
and
It's
I thought
Seethan.
it was shaven. But,
Shathan, Shathan, it's Seethan. I don't.
mm-hmm.
I know it's wrong, but it's Seethan Gray, and Gray is an abbreviation of my middle name. Um, no relation to Blue and Gray, the podcast, but kind of at the same time. I don't know. Anyway, I'm doing a project that has been in the making for over 10 years. I got the idea a while ago, and it's just been starts and stops of me recording it. And Yejun kind of inspired me with him doing like a making an album, like, and streaming it all and doing it all, and that kind of like just doing it kind of thing seemed like the best way to deal with something that's been on the back burner for 12 years. Anyway, it's called Unknown Compelling Force. I don't really want to talk too much about it because I feel like it's a concept album, and it's a good experience just to go for the ride of it. But it is goes all over the place. It's kind of a love story, kind of not at all. um, Maybe if we're lucky, we'll hear some of it tonight, but I don't know. I'm hesitant to let it out of the bag until it's finished. So anyway, that's what I've been working on, and hopefully I'll go somewhere with it.
Awesome. And I've heard a little bit of it, and it's fucking great. I think it's like the best thing you have done. I can tell, like, it's you throwing everything you're capable of into it, and it's kind of like a magical little other world that it pulls you into. Um, just the story behind it, and then I don't know. I don't want to say too much about it, but like the concept of it, and then uh, the songwriting of it, like the songwriting tools, that concepts and tools that you use, and then the instrumentation, just like everything about it is, it's really cool. Um, I'm very excited for it.
Thank
Uh,
you.
and it's funny that you say that, like, uh, my my shameful plug is my album that I'm working on. Um, but it's funny that you said that it inspired you to do it, because mine was partially inspired uh, by you. I think, like, I remember just you talking about you having this idea for an album, and then the that you'd be working on it, and then you finally got it, started and underway, and that's great. And I think a lot of that was like kind of put me into maybe I will make another album. Um, and I guess to kind of sum up what I'm doing, I'll tell like a little bit of backstory about it, because it is a weird thing. I think that I'm doing. I think it's a little out of the ordinary. It's also a little conceptual. Um, I think that part of it is like tangentially inspired by what you're doing. Um, so people generally don't know this because they generally don't know who I am and generally don't know my music. But there's this project that I do called S Hero. Um, Originally, it started off um, as Stephen Hero, uh, titled after the book um, Stephen Hero, or it was a manuscript that was discarded and later became a portrait of the artist as a young man, um, by James Joyce. And basically, that book really resonated with me. It, I guess, brought to light how I felt about art and being an artist. Um, Trying to see yourself uh, past like any sort of like concepts that generally you tie down to humans. So I'm a very political person, but even politics, religion, I think just anything. Like you just want to kind of hold a mirror back at the world. So it started off as S Hero. I wrote a bunch of emo songs, and then I had a friend
Emo.
named
Sorry.
Stephanie at that point, and I uh, made some songs out of her poetry, and she liked it. So I'm like, oh, maybe I'll record them. So I did. Um, the first album was an acoustic album, and I think it's unlistenable. Like I don't like listening to it, just because I think I was not as good as a songwriter, or like in terms of like technique, or like production value. So I don't really listen to it, but I do very much cherish it too. Just because it like represents that sort of segment of my life. Originally, that I just put it as Stephanie Hero. Um, that's kind of how I mentally filed it. I think I had a SoundCloud of these songs because so like the project was her poetry and I put music to it, um, put it into song form, and then uh, I couldn't really play out at open mics as Stephanie Hero because then people get confused, um, and then so I just shortened it to S Hero.
That
Wait,
that reminds me of Pink. When Pink first started, she wanted to go by Mr. Pink
oh, I had no idea.
from Reservoir Dogs, Steve Buscemi's character.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're like, you can't go out there and call yourself Mr. Pink.
Hmm.
So you just chop the pink off of it.
And it is a different. It was a different time. It wasn't even that long ago, but it was a different time in terms of like transgender issues and where society was culturally with regards to transgender issues and like androgyny and like gender ambiguity. Um,
Yeah.
Not that
There's still some places where you couldn't go and call yourself Stephanie Hero.
that is true.
Especially you'd have to plan your tour around the place,
Yeah. So the
even
fight,
today.
for transgender people continues. However, I am also not transgender too. For clarity, although I would fully support somebody coming out and playing as Stephanie Hero, who is like myself. But I think it's also important to portray yourself accurately and honestly. So I am not a woman. So S Hero is what I played under. Um, and that's where that took me to the next album. I put those acoustic songs into a sort of band form. However, it was done with like, well, I guess all of my albums now have been done with like programmed drums. Like the if you're at all into recording music, you know that getting a good recording of drums is like one of the hardest things. So
Yep.
that was that, and then I went crazy at some point Allegedly.
Yeah,
I
no,
don't
I
know.
remember that.
I don't think I
It
was
wasn't.
that crazy, but maybe a little like, uh, I wouldn't say unstable or volatile,
I'd say that
but some
it
people
wasn't.
would. Yeah. Um. So I did
Yeah.
that.
Huh?
And
So I
then
did that. And then
I wrote an album about mental illness, and I tried to make it as crazy and weird as I could, just to make it over the top and see what I was capable of with it. Like how far could I push myself in terms of production? So that's what came about. It was a glitchy kind of synthy electronic mix with rock kind of deal. Um, so that was called DSM-6. DSM-5 being the diagnostic something manual. Um,
yeah, for crazy stuff. Yep.
yeah, if you go to a site and they use this book called the DSM-5 to diagnose you. So the little joke with of that was that it was the next volume of this manual. Um, and then some time passed.
Very clever. Can we take a moment to appreciate the cleverness of that? All right, we can continue now.
Okay.
I feel like we need canned laughter or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, we could get a soundboard for these things.
Yeah, I just hit buttons and be like, "Oh,
Oh,
wow." Yeah, I'll get
okay.
on that.
Um. So then, uh, oh, oh, I need to fix something. Okay. So
Not in the middle of the show, dude.
this is like a pilot, right?
Yeah,
Um.
we can't call it a pilot though. Remember how we didn't get on what is it, iTunes
Oh
because
right. Yeah.
we named our first episode a pilot episode and they're like you can't call them pilots. And it's like but it is a pilot.
Mhm. Yeah. Um. So the next stage of my life, I think I started getting really into like the collapse of civilization, and I got like really doomery. Um.
Doomery? Did you say doomery?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like we're doomed. Like.
Doomy.
Uh huh.
Doomy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Doomy.
Doomy. I got really
Doomy.
doomy.
Doomy. Is there an adjective version of doom? Doomish?
Oh, I like that.
Doom
Doomly.
doomish?
Doomly would
Doom
be like a
doomly?
adverb.
Doom. Yeah, someone needs to tell us this.
Yeah.
So if you are out there, tell us what the adjective for doom is. Doomy? I don't know. Go ahead. It's not
So
doomerly. No, it's not doomerly. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I got yeah, pretty doomerly and freaked out about things like climate change, um, mostly climate change, but there's other issues like the disappearance of topsoil, which we rely upon for growing food. Um,
Oh, you mean like a doomer?
yeah. What
Okay.
were you thinking it was?
That you were just. Never mind.
Okay.
Edit this out in post. I didn't realize you were saying doomerly. I thought you were trying to say like doomish. You were like being all doom and gloom.
Oh,
But
that's kind
doomer.
of like a constant, isn't it, with us?
Yeah, I know. Doomerly. Okay, I got it.
Yeah. Um. So started writing songs about this, all my anxieties over um these kinds of issues, and then I started a band with people. You know how those things go with me. I don't know. They just don't. I I can't do well with in general um bands. I guess. I don't know if that's true because I feel like we've maintained. something. Like we've kept something going uh,
Yeah,
in some
there's only
form
two
or
of us.
yeah.
It's easier to manage yourself and one other person, and
But I also
then
feel like there's like a personality thing involved. Like I have to be able to be close friends with someone who I'm working with musically because it's so personal. Um,
I agree.
so I can't.
Yeah,
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say I don't know if it's something, but what it is, but like if you don't feel right, then you can't really make music with someone. Like because I've played music with so many different people, and it doesn't have anything really to do with their ability or anything like that. But like, there's just some people they could be amazing musicians, but I feel like my guard's up around them, and that I never get comfortable with it,
Yeah.
or and it's not necessarily feeling judged, but that's part of it. But then there's some people that just seem kind of excited about it, and it just gels really well.
Mm-hmm.
And and I don't know if it's because I'm a wuss or something, but like I need that. I don't want to do music with someone that I can't just be myself around.
Yeah. Um, I mean, maybe if I was getting paid for it, like I would like suck it up a little more, um, to get along with people or like set aside personal issues. But um, yeah, at the end of the day, I just need. I'm doing this for fun, like so I
Mm.
want to do it with people that I'm having fun with. Um, which is not to say that like the people that I've been in bands with didn't fit that too, because I have been in bands where that worked, but and still quit. um,
Yeah, I think there's also a certain degree of letting the bullshit slide when it does happen that it takes to be in it, because there's always going to be some moment where like you get shitty with each other, you know.
yeah,
and then and then someone has to either be the bigger person or want to be the bigger person and be like, you know what, fuck all that bullshit. let's
yeah,
let's continue
yeah.
friendship and music.
Like for this, I can very much feel like yeah, it would if there's ever like issues, I would feel comfortable with being like, oh, but it's worth it. And a lot of the past things, even when I do like the people, or like like you said, there's an inevitable issue, and then I'm like, okay, I guess it's not worth it. That's where you find out
Yeah.
how much you really like the thing. So I was in a band called Psychonaut, and with a couple people, we recorded a rock album. Um, Part of it for me was like I feel like it was overshadowing me in a way that I did not like. Um, and
Sounds like narcissism.
yeah,
It wasn't about me.
no, yeah, but I think in a reverse way, and then like where you don't want to be known as, oh, that's the Psychonaut guy, right? Or I don't want to be known as the guy from that band. And maybe um I I feel like anytime a music project that I get working on starts getting momentum, that's always been an issue, is like my humanity isn't being um conveyed as what in addition to what I'm doing. Like, cuz I'm a person, I'm a regular person, human.
Sometimes.
It feels like you're getting objectified into some like thing, and I don't like that. Um so that's another like obstacle or hurdle.
Hmm.
Um
That's interesting. That's like almost seems like some kind of way to justify like fear of success. you know?
Possibly. You have a valid
You're
point.
like, oh, I'm just not comfortable with it. And I feel like I lose my, no, you're just like, you're getting too close to success. And there's a lot of responsibility that comes along with that. It's like, you have to perform now. You have to do these things. And I know because a lot of times when I would get close to it, there is a little fear of like before you were just doing it for fun and you didn't really care what anything. And then once you start getting some fame, like people are going to notice when you make mistakes. People are going to notice when you have a bad night. People are going to start scrutinizing you and judging you and, oh, are you really any good? Are you good enough to be doing this? Are you an imposter? What's going on? Ah, no, I feel like I'm losing myself. I'm going to back away.
This is why, yeah, I like doing this. I can and like bouncing things off of you because when that kind of it's like
I'm throwing my own baggage into that thought because you may just be like, yeah, no, I feel like I'm losing myself, but in my experience, I wasn't losing myself. I was like, I didn't want people. I didn't like the attention.
isn't it kind
But
of this
you,
kind of a mix though? Like in that when you do when you are successful, yeah, you are an object. You are less of a human person with like normal relationships, because there are these expectations of you to fit a certain mold. Um, for me, with this podcast, I feel less of that because I'm talking and then it's us talking and then we happen to do music too. Um, we're
Mhm.
talking about music, but then there's a personality that goes along with that. And even if it is or isn't interesting to listen to, um, for like my friends or whomever, at least that part of me is satisfied. Like, oh, okay, well, if I'm unpopular, that's fine. But like, at least it's me being out there and unpopular instead of like this object
Yeah.
I've
Well,
created.
yeah, I feel like there's a lot of honesty that comes out of this, what we're doing, where I'm not as worried about what people think or whether people are even listening. It's just sort of like, this is it. And it's not that I don't care about it, because I do deeply care about it. I just, if somebody says that they don't like it, which I haven't come across yet,
Yeah,
uh, but if somebody said they didn't like what we were doing or are not interested in what they're doing, then I'm like, well, that's fine. It's not for you. Like, I don't
yeah,
have that like supreme desire to be like every time somebody criticizes it or says something, I'm like, oh no, what am I doing wrong? How do I fix this? Now I'm just like, no, this is what it is. So I don't give a shit about it in that way, but I really deeply want to try to be honest as possible as you can in this sort of setting.
yeah. Um, I. It's a weird mix of not caring and caring. Uh, so I did Psychonaut, put out the album, and then I was like, okay, I can't do this anymore. It's like causing me more. I just like, excuse me, I'm just burping on.
That's great.
That's how much we don't care. I'm burping.
It's crazy. You could have gotten away with that if there wasn't a visual of you turning your head and burping. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like you couldn't really hear it.
good, good.
It's a new medium.
This is real. This is the real shit right here. Um, but it just felt bad, more than it felt good. Um, I felt like I had to felt I don't know that I guess pressure or whatever. So I ended that. Um, but like I felt unresolved in the sense that like the last musical thing I did was this. I don't. I feel like I can do something else too. Like, uh, so I made my last album for S Hero was called Collapse, and basically I took the stems of um, stems of the recordings from the Psychonaut album, and I chopped them up and I manipulated them to make the album sound like a purely electronic album. Um, so that's what that turned into. It was also kind of a glitchy, synthy sounding mess, except there are no synths. It's just like effects and like tweaking samples, stretching them
You
out,
know,
or whatever.
I don't think I knew that. I figured it was all electronic stuff. Huh.
Oh, okay. No.
Huh.
Yeah. Um, and now, just a lot of time passed. I wrote a lot of songs. Let's see. We did the Blue and Gray songs, and then I also got heavily, because it was 2020, I got heavily involved in politics and wrote a bunch of political songs under a moniker of Dirt Bagel Fist, which I
Can you explain why it's called Dirt Bagel Fist?
oh yeah. Um, so there's a podcast called El Chapo Trap House, and it's a leftist sort of comedy podcast. Um, and they were termed as the dirtbag left. So I took that and turned it into dirtbag dirtbag leftist. Uh, but I've kind of felt like it was too on the nose, but also that it was too closely tied to Chapo Trap House, and I thought it would be better to like be a little further removed from that. And I was looking at the URL, or the Twitter at. And I saw, oh, it kind of looks like Dirt Bagel Fist, so I just kind of switched the words around.
No, you just switched two letters. That's all you
Two
did.
letters, okay. It could also
Yeah.
look like Dirtbag Elfist. So
Yeah, Dirtbag Elfist, yeah.
I don't know. Is that
Dirt
someone who's like racist against elves? Is that like a D and
I
D?
don't I don't know. I just saw that before you said that that's what you're going to do when you're doing a Twitter stream. I saw that you were listed as Dirt Bagel Fist, and it was just because it was just the L and the E switched around, and I
Yeah.
figured you just typoed it. So I was like, "Yeah, I love Dirt Bagel Fist."
Oh wait,
And
was
then you,
that where it came from? Shit. Okay.
right, that's what I thought, but I don't know. I don't even know. But I
No,
just
I
know
think
that
I did see that, and then okay, I have a bad
right.
memory
So
too. Um,
it doesn't matter. It's just the cleverness of the two letters switched around, whether it was a typo or whether it was deliberate,
uh,
because it's just so stupid sounding, and I like it.
yeah. Uh,
Dirt Bagel Fist.
and
Oh,
then after that, uh, that's still something that I want to pursue, but I feel like that's very much a you play those songs in a band. I want to play with a band, and that's not right now. That's not pandemic COVID time. So um,
yeah.
it's kind of on the back burner, but not really. I mean, I might write more songs for it along the way, but uh, and that brings me to just the other week, I guess. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna make an album, and then I'm gonna stream every aspect of this making of this album, from like routing wires, just like really boring shit that nobody will watch. Uh, but it's all gonna be streamed because like conceptually, like the bigger picture of it. Um, are
I
you
made a bad note. Sorry. No, I like. Never mind.
okay?
I bumped. I did that.
Oh, okay.
You know that?
Yeah,
And I felt like it would have been really loud for our listeners, and I was
it
like
wasn't that
pointing.
loud. At least on my end. But um,
Sorry, I didn't mean to distract you.
no, no. Okay, so then, um, yeah, I'm streaming every aspect of the making of this album. So that's like the main concept of it. It's called content. Um, I think part of it is driven by my resentment as a musician of this of today's, I guess, environment or context of being a musician. You can't be a musician and find an audience and just by being a musician and playing out or whatever. You have to have a social media presence. You have to keep your you have to get followers and subscribers and keep them engaged with content. Content creation ranging from some cheesy Twitter joke to like a
Right.
picture on Instagram of you doing something that
Hmm.
is tangentially related to music, or just having a good time with your buds, or video clips and gifs and stuff like that. It's branding.
Did
It's just
did I?
I oh sorry go.
No, I just didn't know if I can't remember if we talked about the thing I was reading about. This is related directly to what you're talking about. It's not gonna sound like it. Uh, about Instapets.
No, I don't know.
Okay,
I haven't heard that.
and I can't remember all the terms from it, so people might have to look it up. But like, the Instapets are just like Instagrams that are dedicated to just like somebody's pet. It's like
Mm-hmm.
pictures and cute and everything, whatever. But somebody showed that what happened with Instapets as a kind of microcosm of how things go when hobbies or things people do for enjoyment turn into businesses and industry. And that originally what was happening is somebody had a cute pet and they just posted some pictures and thought it'd be cute to start an Instagram for their cute little pet. I think Maru the cat was one of the first ones. And then they became really successful and started making money. So then there was a second generation of people who wanted to be like Maru and like all these Insta pets, and they were trying to emulate those people. And then there was a third generation of people who saw where those people who wanted to do it failed and where they succeeded. And then they started doing that. And then there was another generation of people who didn't even want to put their pets on there. They just saw that there was a way to make money, and here's what you had to do. You had to post these type of pictures, you had to do this kind of things. And then suddenly it just became a thing. But when it started, it was because somebody thought their pet was cute and they wanted to do it. And I think the music industry has come that way, has gone that way. Is that when? But it took decades, So like when rock music started coming out, people were just doing what they wanted to do, you know. And like if it got popular, it got popular. And then slowly with each generation, people were looking back at the previous generation and going, "Oh, is this something that worked or didn't work?" Until we're at where we are now, where it's like there's a lot of bands that starting up, they don't even care about their they're just more focused on the content part of it because they know no matter what their music is, if they do X, Y, and Z content wise on social media, then they will get views and they will get popular.
Yeah, yeah, that's something I hold very a lot of resentment towards. For me, like music is the most genuine, honest thing that you can do. Like if you're writing a song, it takes, in my opinion, a lot of. If you're writing like a very genuine song and putting it out there, that is a very brave and honest thing to do. Like bravely honest. To get up onto a stage with just an acoustic guitar, uh, in front of a whole crowd of people who just do not care, at an open mic. I think it's the most genuine, honest form of expression. And then to take that and apply all this PR, marketing nonsense to it as like is the antithesis of it. It's like this sociopathic, uh, you know, it's horrible. I hate it.
It's industry. It's
Industry.
an
It's
assembly
basically
line.
capitalism applied to music. Um,
Yep.
and I I don't like it. So this is kind of like a reaction to that, and like I'm literally going to stream every boring fucking thing and tweet every inane, stupid musical thought I have about this. Is this what you like? Is this what you want? This is what I'm
This
gonna
is.
do as hard as I can.
I would very much like it if this is what makes you popular, and this is succeed. Because I was thinking about Chuck Palahniuk, the guy who wrote Fight Club. I was a big fan of his stuff, and he wrote a book, his first book, and it had um some transgender people in it. And one of the main characters was gay, and the mod it had a model who had tried to kill herself, and her she didn't have a lower jaw, and she refused to get surgery for it. And it was like all these really weird things kind of commenting on beauty and sexuality and crazy things. There's one chapter that is just explaining what a vaginoplasty surgery is, like graphically describing it. And a publisher was like, nobody wants to read all this disgusting stuff. It's like violent and gross, and no one wants to read books like this. So in response, he wrote Fight Club as this anti-feminist, anti like almost homophobic, macho, violent, gross thing. Kind of like what you're doing with content. And he turned it into the publisher, and they're like, "This is amazing," and they published it. You know, and it was like his like, I'm just gonna write a book that's just so toxically masculine that they'll go back and let me publish Invisible Monsters. Uh, but no, they loved it.
That makes
So
me
I want
wanna.
that to happen to you.
That'd be hilarious. Uh, that makes me want to check it. What was the book?
Invisible Monsters.
Okay,
He eventually published it after.
that sounds interesting. Um, so yeah, there's a lot of this is just driven by spite, but not all of it. One of the things with my last album, Collapse, that I tried to do was to make it so like push myself so hard that like I don't think I could possibly make a better album. And at the time, I was like, yeah, I can't do better than this, or I can't come up with something that I feel is more uh, one catchy, but also so like I want there to be some sort of poppy aspect to that. It should be accessible, but two, also it should push boundaries like genre in terms of genre or like innovation. And I feel like I did that as best as I could um, in the process of it, like how I went about doing things. Um, and I also wanted to make a statement with it, like in terms of like lyrically, and I felt like I captured what I was trying to do in terms of meaning as best as I could. And at that time, I felt like, yeah, I can't top this. So this will be the last S Hero album. But I've learned a lot since then in terms of audio production and synthesis, and not just that, but like audio visual stuff. So like you see us streaming right
And
now,
what we're doing right now, he gave me a little lesson on it, which I
setting
thought
up.
was funny because I had a job as an AV tech, but 2 months into it, COVID happened and I got fired. So I would have been the guy telling him what to do. COVID, COVID hadn't robbed me of it, but
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, just since I moved back to Delaware, I'm not in Delaware now, but the amount of stuff that you have learned how to do is pretty amazing.
Oh, thank
Just with
you.
synthesizers and production and all that stuff, like
Yeah.
crazy.
So now, I have ideas that I want to do, try out. Just it's pure experimentation. Um, Also, in the past with albums, I've always had like songs pre-written. I have zero songs written for this, so it's like even it's not just the recording process that's being streamed. It's like the songwriting, um, or even the sound creation because I'm still like experimenting with different sounds that I want to use. Um, so like it's unwatchable in terms of like content. Uh, you if you tune into any of those streams, it's just me like fiddling around with a knob while there's like a kick drum going boom, boom.
That's that works.
Yeah. Um, but I'm trying. I want to. I think I'm looking for a certain sound and trying to find it. So, and that's part of the process. Um, and then after that, it's I think that kind of covers it. Uh, I don't know. I guess I'll just see where it goes from there. Um, it could happen where this never congeals into anything usable into an album, and it'll just be like me doing this for the rest of my life of just like streaming me fiddling around on music gear trying to get something, which I think would also be appropriate. That I would be satisfied with an ending like that. So, um, um,
Uh, so I think it's time to play some music. Just some recorded music so we can take a quick break.
yeah.
Um, I think maybe I'll just play the kind of rough cut opening to the concept album I have, and then we can talk about that when we get back.
Yeah.
So I will if you make me the host here.
Oh, right. How do I do? Oh, I have to go to Zoom.
I am now the host. All right, screen share. We will. Can you guys see all this messed up crap I have here? Okay. All right. Should be able to hear this. Can you hear it?
Yep.
All right, let's take a break. sit next to Mila. Know she's yours, but I wish she were mine. Or the train, yeah, shove our things in over here. Yours got me the still. I'm stuck with you. I got 5 hours. Smell her perfume 4 doors down. I feel ice blue burning inside. Know she's yours, but I wish she were mine.
Very
All
nice,
right,
sir.
we are back. That was a rough uh, bit of the first three songs from the album I'm working on. I'm not going to say much about them. Um, just that I've been, like I said in the beginning of the podcast, this has been in my head forever. It's based off of, I guess, true events that I don't want to tell you what they are because then it will kind of ruin the the ending of it. So I guess it's better if you don't know. The concept album is called "An Unknown Compelling Force," and those three songs start with the main character having a dream about a woman he's obsessed with, thinks he's in love with, and then a song about preparing to go on some sort of skiing trip, cross country skiing trip, and how he talks about how the woman he's in love with is with someone else. And then the last song is him on the train with two other guys that are talking about this woman he's infatuated with in very lewd ways. And it's bothering him to no extent because he idolizes her so much. He just hates to hear them talking about it. And that is all that happened in those three songs. And I don't want to say anything else about the story.
um, so knowing what the rest of the story is kind of loosely based on, I can't wait. I can't wait to see where it goes lyrically and musically. Like I said earlier, I feel like this is everything that's Sean going into this. So like, there's that storytelling aspect of it, but like clever little songwriting things going on as well.
And instrumentation you mentioned, because there's toy piano in there. You can see my toy piano behind me, barely, but it's there. And I've told the story about the toy piano, and if you want to hear it, you have to go through and listen to all our episodes until you find it. um, and then, of course, bass lines. I love writing sometimes a little bit too busy of bass lines, but I don't care. That's what I
Yeah,
write.
no, I love that. Um,
And there's also some melodica in there, which is the little keyboard thing that you blow into. Kind of sounds like a cross between a harmonica and a accordion. And then there's some a microchord synthesizer playing some stuff, and programmed all the drums, which is insane. If anyone can give me a non-complicated way to do swing in MIDI, that would help me because it was like I had to, instead of just programming it like a normal song and then saying, "Hey, it's in swing," I had to like program each beat based on three eighth notes and then change the tempo and then just ignore the middle because that's all swing is, do you know
yeah,
like
yeah,
it's just triplets with the middle one ignored.
yeah.
But up, but up, but up, but up.
And I wish, like, I know how to do it in Ableton, but you don't use Ableton.
You know, I use Pro Tools because I'm a professional. Although
Professional
sometimes I
tools.
have, although sometimes Audacity is a little easier to work with if you're just doing one-off things. Pro Tools is a little cumbersome sometimes.
Yeah. Um, I remember going over it with you once, and it does not look intuitive. Um, I know
It,
Ableton confuses a lot of people because there's like two views. Uh, but once you get the hang of it, it's very easy.
Pro Tools is the same way. It has a mix view and an edit view. So the mix view just looks like you're looking at the console,
Mm.
and then the edit view is all the waveforms and everything. But there's the thing that's most confusing is that you like you have to click on different things to be able to have the mouse do certain things. So like if you just want to highlight something, you have to click this one, which isn't which one of them highlights it and lets you like drag and like highlight a section, and the other one selects the entire waveform. And that one you can scoot it around with, but with the other one you can't scoot it around. It's just like I don't know. It's a lot of great features, but it really gums up when you want to do something very simple and quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm, how long have we been going here? We
Oh,
started. It's about an hour.
it's about an hour. Sorry, I didn't mean to yawn.
No,
I'm I'm
yawn
try-
away. We're chilling.
I'm starting a night shift job on Monday slash Sunday night. Start 2:30 a.m. to 10:30.
Shit.
So I'm trying to switch my schedule around. So like,
You end up with a
it,
lot of night jobs.
yeah, because they're the ones that usually need to get hired the quickest because people don't want to work them,
Mm.
and then it offers a lot of job security, unless COVID happens, and then you know. But this is at a place that's considered essential workers. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Sorry, it's the middle of the night for me. I need to get up in 4.5 hours. Not
Oh,
really, but I need to train myself to do it.
oh shit. Okay. Okay. Maybe we should
Should,
call it an
should we?
episode.
Yeah, and I guess maybe I'll just play instead of playing live music, I'll just play sometimes as our outro.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
Oh
so
wait,
we
I
talked.
can pull that one up, and uh
You can put the image of Spalding Gray up there. So this song's about Spalding Gray and his marriage and his traumatic brain injury and depression and eventual suicide. But it's also about my own divorce. So
okay.
the image that you should put on the screen is a rotoscope. Before it was a rotoscope version of my face with my pupils cartoonified and biggened. This one is Spalding Gray, but I took the scar from his traumatic brain injury and kind of opened it up as if you're looking into his mind or brain matter, as it were.
Okay. Oh.
But
Um.
okay, I guess we're signing off. You got it set up? Because if not, I have it already set up on mine, and I'm already the host, so I'm just gonna do it.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. Do it.
Oh, it's go. I accidentally got rid of it.
Okay. Don't do it yet.
Okay.
Now
Well,
do
then
it.
I'll switch. Okay. Oh, okay. All right. So you can actually hear this song on Bandcamp, and you can purchase it as well. Um, Seethin' Gray. All those Gaelic people or Irish people are probably like, ugh. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and screen share this. This is when I feel old, when I'm like, what am I doing? Where's the button to screen share? There it is. All right, share my screen. All right, here we go. This is me on Bandcamp. This song is called "Sometimes in Another World," and this is Blue and Gray signing off. Say goodbye, Yejun.
Goodbye, Adrian.
You're so funny.
Hmm.
For the door is
tired of life on this time. Did you feel a bit unsteady? But you had the drive, didn't you? Lines forming inside your head, moving pictures and sound. Finds something deep in your dread, a voice you found. Another world, we could be friends. It would be hard if we could manage. Different story, different end. Pick up what we like from the wreckage. Another world we would never end. You would die. Think she'd pick up your call? It's been over for years. The line between the mess of it all has never been more clear. Another world, we could be friends. It would be hard, think we could manage. Different stories, different ends. We pick up what we like from the wreckage. Another world, we never end. Another world, we could be friends. It would be hard, think we could manage. Different story, different end. Pick up what we like from the wreckage. Another world, we could be friends. It would be hard if we could manage. Different story, different end. Pick up what we like from the wreckage. Another world, we could be friends. It would be hard, I think we could manage. Different story, different end. Pick up what we like from the wreckage. Another world, we could be friends. It would be hard, think we could manage.